Imagine stepping into an old, quiet home on a warm August morning. The air feels heavy, almost suffocating. The silence is broken only by the creak of wooden floors and the faint hum of summer outside. But then you stumble upon a scene so gruesome, so terrifying, that it feels unreal. A man lies lifeless on the couch, his face mangled by brutal strikes. Upstairs, a woman's body lies sprawled on the bedroom floor, her skull shattered beyond recognition. No one saw it happen. No one heard the screams, and the question that still chills us more than a century later is who did it and why. Some say the killer was right inside the house. Some believe the murderer walked free in plain sight. But the truth? The truth remains locked away in one of the most haunting mysteries in American history. Welcome to Grim Casebook. This is my very first video, and here we dive into true crime stories that continue to haunt us, even after decades or centuries. If you love exploring dark mysteries, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps this channel grow. And since this is my first case, please let me know in the comments what you think about the story and how you liked the video. Our case tonight is one that has fascinated, horrified, and puzzled people for generations. The story of the Borden murders, when Andrew and Abby Borden were brutally killed inside their home in Fall River, Massachusetts in 1892. This case wasn't just a local tragedy, it became a nationwide obsession, turning ordinary townsfolk into courtroom spectators and transforming Lizzie Borden, Andrew's daughter, into one of the most infamous figures in criminal history. But was she a cold-blooded killer, or an innocent woman forever trapped in the shadow of suspicion? Let's open the casebook. The morning of August 4, 1892, began like any other in the Borden household. Andrew Borden was a wealthy but frugal businessman, respected in the community yet disliked by many for his stern nature. His wife, Abby, was his second wife, often described as distant and disliked by her stepdaughters. Lizzie and her older sister Emma lived under the same roof, though tension filled the air. It was no secret that Lizzie and Abby had a strained relationship fueled by disputes over money and inheritance. The house itself was modest compared to Andrew's wealth, cramped, old-fashioned, and strangely suffocating for a family with so much means. That morning, Bridget Sullivan, the family's maid, was ordered to clean despite feeling ill in the summer heat. Around 9 a.m., Abby went upstairs to make the bed in the guest room where a relative had stayed the night before. It was there, sometime shortly after, that she met her fate. She was struck from behind with an axe, over a dozen blows delivered with shocking force. Her body collapsed to the floor, her face unrecognizable. Meanwhile, Andrew returned home from his morning errands and settled into the sitting room. He lay down on the couch, perhaps for a short rest, never knowing death was moments away. At around 11 a.m., his body too was discovered, his face so savagely hacked that one eye was split in two, almost beyond recognition. But here's where the mystery deepens. Despite the sheer brutality, no one reported hearing screams. The maid Bridget was outside at one point, and Lizzie claimed she was in the barn when the murders occurred. When she returned to the house, she said she found her father's mutilated body and cried out for help. But many questioned her account. If she truly had no idea what happened, why was she so calm when neighbors arrived? Why did her story about her whereabouts change slightly when retold? The investigation quickly turned its gaze on Lizzie. She was known to resent Abby, even referring to her as Mrs. Borden instead of mother. There were rumors she feared being cut out of her father's will. And then there was the matter of a dress. Witnesses claimed Lizzie was seen burning a dress in the stove days after the murders. She explained it had paint stains and was ruined, but others believed it was the very dress she wore during the killings, destroyed to erase the blood evidence. Still, the case was far from straightforward. The police were criticized for mishandling evidence, allowing people to move through the crime scene, and even failing to secure the murder weapon. An axe was found in the basement, but it couldn't be tied definitively to the murders. Without modern forensic science, the case relied heavily on witness testimony and circumstantial evidence. When Lizzie was arrested, the trial that followed became a national sensation. Newspapers painted her as both a cold-blooded killer and an innocent lady wrongly accused. Her calm demeanor in court sparked debates. Was it composure of guilt or the restraint expected of women at the time? The defense argued that no physical evidence linked her to the crime and that the state's case was built on weak assumptions. After weeks of testimony, the jury delivered its verdict: not guilty. Lizzie walked free, but the court of public opinion was less forgiving. Many believed she had gotten away with murder, shielded by her social status and wealth. She lived out the rest of her life in Fall River, but she was never truly free of the whispers, the stares, and the lingering suspicion. What makes this case so haunting is not just the brutality of the crime, but the endless questions it leaves behind. Could someone else have slipped into the house unseen? Was there another motive that investigators overlooked? Or was Lizzie indeed guilty, cleverly outsmarting the system in an era where women were rarely seen as capable of such violence? The Borden house still stands today, preserved as a museum and bed and breakfast. Visitors claim to feel an eerie presence, as if the walls themselves hold on to the memory of that blood-soaked morning. Some report footsteps, cold drafts, even ghostly visions of Andrew and Abby. Whether haunted by spirits or simply by its dark history, the house remains a chilling reminder of the crime. Over 130 years later, the Lizzie Borden case is still studied by historians, criminologists, and true crime enthusiasts. It has inspired countless books, movies, and even a rhyme taught to children. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks, though the reality was far less exaggerated. The reality might have turned it into folklore, but the tragedy was very real. So, what do you think? Was Lizzie guilty, or was she the victim of a flawed investigation and a judgmental society? Did the killer walk away unnoticed, lost to history forever? Or does the answer lie within the shadows of the Borden home, waiting to be uncovered? Thank you so much for watching Grim Casebook. This was my very first video, so please support me by liking, sharing, and subscribing. It means the world as I start this journey. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Lizzie Borden was innocent, or do you believe she got away with murder? Until next time, remember, some cases never truly close, and some doors should never be open.